Hi friend, Jeanette here. You're about to take one of my Spine Care Foundations classes. This is my signature class for back pain and spinal injuries. It's the first step in taking control of your life again. And the next step is going to my website, JeanetteConery.com, and signing up for your free back pain starter kit. While you're here, please be sure to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and share this with all of your friends. Enjoy the video. Hi, welcome to Spine Care Foundations. I'm Jeanette Conery. I'll be guiding you through your practice today. This class is safe for almost absolutely everyone. We have folks here who have disc problems, stenosis, and all sorts of issues in their backs. So we're going to take it easy, go nice and slow. I'll give you lots of options. I only have one simple rule in my class, and that is don't do anything that hurts. If you're in question about something and whether it's right for you, just skip it. I welcome comments, emails, questions, as you can imagine, this means you'll have to be paying very close attention to your body throughout the entire class, which is one of the most important parts of yoga, developing and cultivating that attention to how am I doing right now, and the ability to respond with kindness to the feedback that you get from your body. So before we start, I'll tell you what you're going to need for today's class. If you have a really painful herniation in your lumbar spine, a herniated disc, a towel is going to be really useful for you. This is just a plain old bath towel. I have folded it in half, as you can see. And what you can do with this is fold it again into thirds. Now this becomes a little prop that you can put under your low back. I'll demonstrate that in a moment, and that's going to help you not flatten your back out and help you avoid that painful sensation people get sometimes when they lay flat. Okay, so we'll also be using a yoga strap, but if you don't have one, you can use a belt. Okay, a yoga block. Again, if you don't have a yoga block, you can roll up a towel nice and tight and tie it up with twine. I actually have a video on how you can do this. It's very easy to make your own yoga block, and a blanket or another towel would be fine. Okay, so why don't we just go ahead and get started now that we have all the toys, okay? I'll demonstrate, as I mentioned, what you can do if you have a painful herniation in one of your lumbar discs, okay? Oh, did I mention we're using a chair? Not sure. Anyway, we're gonna lay flat and you're gonna put this towel right underneath your lumbar. Now you can see my sacrum, this hard flat spot, is actually on the floor. So are my shoulder blades, okay? This is just gonna make sure the low back keeps a little curve. Now, if you don't have a painful experience when you lay flat on the floor, don't worry about the pad under your back, okay? You don't need it if it doesn't hurt to lay down. So we're putting the legs on the chair, and make sure you have the backs of your knees on the seat of the chair. We don't want any knees hanging out there in space. So I'll give you a second to get quiet and get comfortable. This is a really good position to take anytime you feel fatigue or back pain. It's really good to reverse the compression that happens when we're sitting or standing for long periods. I'd like to invite you to feel the heaviness of your body releasing into the floor. And we're going to do a quick breathing exercise just to get the nervous system calmed down, all right? So inhale through your nose, please. And as you exhale, pretend you have a short length of straw, a drinking straw, resting between your lips. So you're going to allow the air to escape through that little hole between your lips. Your facial muscles will remain soft. Just like that. Your breath will be slow so that your exhale will be longer than your inhale. Smooth, slow exhale. As you breathe, use your exhale as a tool to release tension from your body, from your shoulders, your jaw, your hips, even your low back. Just one or two more breaths like that, and then we'll be changing positions. So before we get up, I'll have you take your hands, place your palms right on the tops of your thighs, right up where the thighs meet the body. Press your legs away from you. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Feel the way this just gently lengthens out your low back. You can feel that traction happening, the bones of your lumbar spine pulling away from each other. This is very gentle and affordable traction that you can do anytime you want to. You don't need any equipment for this. So to add to that length in your spine, you can wiggle your shoulders a little bit, left and right. Keep pushing yourself away, and you might feel your rib cage scoot away from your pelvis by maybe half an inch, maybe an inch. Small distances here, but they make all the difference. Okay. One more breath and then we'll move. Ready? Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Long, slow, even exhale. Good. Okay. So I'll have you kind of push your chair away from you with your feet so that it's off the mat. We're going to use all the mat space for a little while here. Okay. And this towel that we have under the back that you may or may not have, we're going to reuse that. So we're going to unfold it and then roll it up like this. So this is going to act like a little yoga bolster for you. Place it vertically on your mat. Have your blanket nearby just in case you need a little headrest. So you'll see my spine goes down on that towel. The towel is right underneath my spine. My head is on the towel. My hips and my sacrum are on the floor. So now if your neck is not really comfortable here, this is where the blanket comes in. You can always put a little lift for your head. Okay. This is especially good if you have high blood pressure. You want to keep your head above your heart. So now you have an option of keeping your knees bent with your feet on the floor, or you can straighten your legs out on the floor like this. It just depends on what's comfortable for you. And as we rest here, I'd like you to relax your shoulders and feel the way that gravity is pulling your shoulders towards the floor, stretching your chest just a little bit. And if you don't have any rotator cuff issues in your shoulders, you can even try bringing your arms up a little bit higher to about the T position. This is going to increase the sensation of stretch across your chest and the fronts of your shoulders. And for those of us who have a rounded forward posture, which is most people actually, this is going to feel so good. I'll have you take a breath into the bottom of your lungs, all the way down to the bottom of your rib cage. You might even feel your belly growing as you breathe. Big breath down into your belly, into your gut. And again, slow, even exhale. Feel the way your ribs stretch when you inhale here. And just one more breath. Good. Now we're going to start a little bit of movement. So bring your feet to the floor, roll over to your side, take your towel out, and I'll have you, if you're using your towel as a lumbar support, I'll have you tri-fold again and put it back where it was when we started. Lay down, and this headrest can stay or go. That's up to you. Place your hands on your thighs like we did before. Push away, lengthen yourself out. And now we're going to do what's called breakfast for the spine. I'll have you take your feet wide so that the pinky toes are touching the edges of your mat. Place one hand on each elbow in front of you. Take a breath, and as you exhale, your knees and your nose are going to go in one direction, and your arms are going to go in the other. Okay, now you'll notice that my knees aren't flopping all the way down to the floor. I have my feet kind of close to my bottom here. Inhale to center, exhale other side. The reason we're not doing a really, really big windshield wiper movement with the legs and letting the knees go all the way to the floor is because inhale, center, exhale other side. When you have a low back injury, you really don't want to be twisting your back a lot. Sometimes not at all, depending on the injury. So we're keeping that really small here. And if you have any inkling of discomfort or pain when you do this movement, then I will tell you, you can turn this windshield wiper actually into a knee dip. Watch my knee. So if you just put one knee into the center and kind of reach through the knee like that, you can turn it into a knee dip instead of a windshield wiper. I'll do it on the other side so you can see what I mean. So this leg is going to stay put, knee goes in the center and reach. And that way you're lengthening out your back from side to side without twisting, okay? So we're going to just finish up this movement. Okay. And now we're ready to stretch out the legs. So we're going to need that strap. Okay, good. Now, stretching your legs is really good for back pain and also good for insomnia. If you have trouble falling asleep at night, you can try stretching your legs before bed. We're going to take this strap, wrap it all the way around the ball of the foot. You'll notice I don't have my strap down here on the arch. This is where most people really want to put it, but we're taking it up a little higher, just underneath the part where the toes meet the foot. This gives you a lot more control over the strap and your foot, and you'll see what I mean. So we want to keep the knee bent if needed, right? A lot of us have a significant amount of tightness in the hamstrings and the low back. So keeping your knee bent will give you options and a lot more freedom for movement. Inhale, let the leg glide away from you just a little bit, and then exhale, bring it back in. So what we're doing here is we're just moving in and out of the stretch. Inhale, the leg goes away. Exhale, the leg comes in. And we're asking the question, how is my level of tightness today? And can I warm myself up before I do a big stretch? Okay, so inhale, the leg goes away. Exhale, the leg comes in. And now we're going to hold this stretch. So whether your knee is bent or straight, whatever, you're feeling a stretch here, right? And if you pull your toes in, you'll feel even more stretch. And next thing we're going to do is work the ankle and the calf muscle. So that means just pushing the ball of your foot away from you like this, and then pulling it back in like that. And you'll see that when I push the ball of the foot away, my toes are still pulled back towards my face. It takes a little bit of coordination to learn that movement, but it's worth it because you really have so much control over the strap when you can do it this way. Okay, now we're going to try stretching out the groin muscle, the inner thigh. Take both of the ends of the strap in one hand, the same hand on the hand that's on the same side as the leg that you're stretching, right? So for me, that's my right side. We're gonna inhale and open the legs, both legs. You'll see I'm kind of spreading butterfly here, and we'll have the elbow on the floor like this. This makes it a lot easier for you to support your leg while you're stretching, okay? And this other leg, the left leg, is acting as a counterbalance so that you don't flip over, right? So ask yourself, how tight am I in the groin today? Sometimes it's pretty darn tight, right? Take a breath, and as you exhale, just ease into a comfortable stretch. We don't ever want to pull really hard on our muscles. That can just cause more inflammation, more irritation. Okay, so we're going to bring both legs back to center. Take both ends of the strap in the left hand or right, depending on what leg you're using, right? We're crossing the body though, that's the point. Sorry about that. That's a loud buckle. Okay. So now we can take this leg and cross the body, but keep this hip down. So we're not going into a big twist here. We're keeping both hips firmly on the floor. You can even take your hand, hook your thumb into the hip crease, put a little pressure there to lengthen out your hip, and bring that leg over to the side. So you'll feel the stretch here on the side of your leg. This is one of your hamstring muscles. It's called biceps femoris. It's the tightest one there is for most people. Okay, keep pulling your toes back. And if your leg is very, very straight here and you're not feeling a stretch, try bending your knee, because sometimes that actually makes a difference. Right, so now we're going to bring the leg back to the starting point. We're going to take off the strap, and I will have you pull your belly button in towards your spine, lower the leg slowly towards the floor. This takes some abdominal control, and then we're going to stretch both legs out on the floor, and I'd like you to take a quiet moment and just feel the difference between right and left. And some people say after stretching their legs that they feel longer or lighter. Okay, now we're going to bring both feet back up onto the floor, and we'll do this whole sequence on the other leg. So bring your strap around the ball of your foot here. Okay, and bring your hands down along the strap so that your elbows can rest next to you. They don't have to be like firmly planted on the floor, but you want to have the ability to keep your shoulders soft and control the strap with your wrists. So inhale, the leg goes away, and exhale, the leg comes in. Good. Inhale, the leg goes away. Exhale, the leg comes in. How tight are you today? Good. All right. Do you remember what came next? The calf and the ankle. So push into the ball of your foot and pull down towards you. Some people feel this all the way up the entire back of the leg because we're flossing the sciatic nerve when we do this. And if you have a lot of tightness around that nerve, you're going to feel it. But this is good for you because it's loosening all the tissues around the nerve and allowing you to get some glide going. We don't want things sticky in our body. Okay, now we're going to keep the toes pulled in, take both ends of the strap in the opposite hand. In the hand that corresponds to the leg that you're stretching. And we're opening both legs out to the sides, just like a butterfly. Stretching out the groin. Good. Now, one more breath. This long, slow exhale. Slow and even, smooth exhale. Good. We'll bring the legs back to center. Switch hands. Okay. Keep the toes pulled back towards you and cross your body with your leg. Keep your hips on the ground and hook your thumb into the leg crease. Push the leg away from you as you stretch. And again, we're feeling the outer hamstring. Rest here for 3 breaths. Relax your jaw, your shoulders. Good. Bring the leg back to center. Remove the strap. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Lower your legs slowly towards the floor and stretch both legs out on the floor. Inhale your arms up overhead, stretching the front of your body. Ooh, yeah, give a little wiggle. That feels nice. Okay, bring the hands down. And we're going to bring the feet onto the mat, cross right ankle over left thigh. We'll be doing the figure 4 hip stretch here. So first you can take your hand and push your thigh away from you like this. And for some people that feels pretty intense as a stretch. So if that is where you're at, you can stay here. Or if you're looking for a little bit more, you can bring the legs in towards you like this. And we will rest here for 3 breaths. Good. Okay. We're going to switch sides. So left foot goes on the floor, uncross, recross, other side. Try it out again. Press your hand into the thigh and see what it feels like. Is this where you're going to stay? You know, the left and the right hips are usually different in their level of tension. So notice that too. It's good to keep in mind which side of your body tends to be tighter. All right, so now if you want, you can bring both legs in towards you. Good. And put the foot on the floor. Uncross your legs, please. And next we'll be doing a little twist. Now, it's really important when you have a back injury to twist correctly, and I'll show you exactly what I mean right now. First, I want you to roll over onto your side without twisting, okay? And if you haven't been using a head support, this might be a good time to add it. We're going to use a block or the towel. I have to sit up and get these. To as a prop for this twist. So I'm gonna have to turn around to show you how to do this. You're gonna be laying on your side and you're gonna put your block or your towel right up next to your back between your shoulder blades or right at the level of your shoulder blades, okay? So you're laying on your side, you're gonna bring your knees up high. I hope you can see that from there. Okay, knees are at about 90-degree angle from the hips. The block is right behind you in your upper back. You're going to place your hand on your waist and just lean back onto that block. So this is a very little twist. It's a baby twist. If you don't actually have any injuries in your back, you just have pain, you know, tightness and whatnot, but it's not really injured, no bulging discs, no stenosis and things like that, you can go a little deeper into this twist, but we want to make sure that it feels good. If you feel any kind of tightness and pulling, that's a sign that it's too much. And a lot of the people out there will go and, well, I don't need that yet. I'll show you that on the other side. There's another thing I'm going to show you, but you can't see it from where I am anyway. A lot of people with back pain will go and twist their back thinking, oh, it's a stretch and it feels so good. But what they don't know is that when the pain continues, it can be the twisting that's actually doing that. Twisting can really aggravate pain in your back. So we want to go, we want to tread lightly with the twisting. Okay, now we're going to untwist. We're going to come up to the fetal position and then transition onto the back. You see how I did that? When you're in the twisted position is not a good time to be leveraging your weight and changing position. You always want to move from neutral. Okay, so now we're on the back. Let's just wiggle a little bit here. And then we're going to come onto the other side. Now from the front view, you won't be seeing the block that I'm putting behind my back. That's okay, because you already know what I'm doing with that. Now this time I'm going to show you another tool. If you experience tightness in your back when you went into that twist, you can try putting a block or a towel or a blanket between your knees. This will help reduce some of the tension. So again, if you're dealing with some injuries in your spine, you're going to take a very small baby twist here, and you're not actually twisting your low back at all, okay? And if you don't have any serious injuries in your spine, you can go a little deeper like this. Okay. Rest here for 3 more breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay. Untwist, come back to your neutral position. Remove the block from between your thighs if it's there, and then come onto your back. So those of us who are using the towel as a support under the lumbar, that's still there, right? And the next move we're going to do is a knee to chest type move to stretch out the low back, but one side at a time. So we'll start with the left knee. Bring your left knee up, both hands on that left knee. Take a breath, and as you exhale, bring the knee towards you like this. And as you inhale, let the knee float away like that. But the hands stay on the knee, you see. Exhale. Knee comes in. Inhale. Knee goes out. And feel the way you're stretching out the left side of your low back as you move here. Last one. Good. Put the left foot down, and we'll do the same thing with the right side 4 times. Take a breath and then exhale. Pull the knee in. Inhale, let the knee go away. Exhale, the knee comes in. Inhale, the knee goes away. Exhale, the knee comes in. Inhale, the knee goes away. Last time. Good. So, one more way to do this. I know for a fact that some people find this painful though. So if that's where you're at today, keep your feet on the floor. Let's bring both knees in like this. Take a breath, and as you exhale, pull them in towards your chest. Inhale, the knees float away. We're only going to do this 3 more times. Exhale, the knees come in. Inhale, the knees go away. Exhale, the knees come in. Inhale, the knees go away. Last time. Good. All right. Now we're putting the feet down one at a time. And it's time for us to work on some hip strength. All right. So we're going to use either the block or, your homemade block. Put that between your thighs. And I'm going to invite you to do some pelvic tilts. So if you've ever been to PT, chances are you've been asked to do these. They really are a basic building block for core strength. So the way I do it is slightly different, right? You'll notice there's a block between the knees. This is so your hips have good neutral alignment as you do your core strength, a very important thing. Take a breath and let your belly get big. Have your hands on your belly here, okay? So you take a breath, your belly gets big. As you exhale, you pull your belly in towards you, in towards the floor, and you even move your pelvis just the tiniest bit. And then on the inhale, you release. Now, what you want to make sure is that your legs are not doing any of this work, right? Most people will push into the floor in order to get their belly flat and the pelvis to tip back. That's cheating. You're not strengthening your core when you do that. So put your hand on your butt, please. Give it a squeeze. Make sure it's flapping in the breeze. Okay, we want that butt to be really soft. Other hand goes on the belly, and this hand is feeling for the muscular activation underneath the palm of your hand. You should feel it. Also, if you're having trouble activating there, all the way down at the bottom, like right above your pubic bone, you can actually push on that muscle, and it'll help your nerves get some contraction going on that muscle. It's called transversus abdominis. So let's inhale, relax. Exhale, pull the low belly in, squeeze your butt, make sure it's soft. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull the belly in, tilt the pelvis back. Those of us who don't have disc injuries can actually flatten the back towards the floor. Inhale, release. Exhale. Contract your low belly, pull your belly button towards your spine, make sure your butt is soft and your legs are not working, and release on the inhale. One last time. Exhale, pull the belly in, okay, and release. Now, if you're feeling really confused about this exercise and you're having trouble really doing it, I want you to know that's really normal. Many of my clients feel that way when I first ask them to do this. My advice to you is to keep trying, keep doing it. Come back to this video every day until you really start to get it. It will happen. It will happen. Okay, so, oh yes, we're moving into bridge. So this all ties in with the bridge. I want you to take a breath and relax. Exhale, do a pelvic tilt, and then press your feet into the floor. Just press the feet into the floor. Feel the way your hips come on, okay? With the block there, you've got some activation in your inner thighs. You've got your hamstrings going, okay? Relax. Exhale, do it again. Just push your feet into the floor. Some of us who have really severe pain, this is it, okay? This is where you're gonna stay to strengthen. And others of us who are ready to do a little bit more, we can actually do the pelvic tilt, press the feet into the floor. Wait, sorry, you got to move your headrest. if you have a blanket under your head, take that out now. We don't want that there for bridging, okay? Now, as I was about to say, ready? So we're going to take a breath, exhale, pull the belly in, pelvic tilts back, press your feet into the floor and lift the hips. Okay, and bring them back down. Now, it's good to start small. We want to do little bitty baby ones first until your back feels warmed up, and then you can make your hips go a little higher like that until eventually, if you're feeling really strong today, you can bring your hips all the way up like this, okay? And make sure your toes are pointing squarely at the bottom of your mat. Let's come back down. Now, when you do the bridges this way, it may feel very strange, but you're actually strengthening your lumbopelvic rhythm. You're strengthening the balance and stability in your hips. And one last thing I want to add here, as you lift your hips, I want you to lengthen your tailbone towards your knees. So like low back gets longer, reaching your butt towards your knees and pulling your belly up towards you. Okay, good. And we'll release. Now we're ready to take that block out. We're done with the block for now. Well done. And we're going to stretch the back a little. So pull one knee in towards your chest, pull the other knee in towards your chest. And then if you like doing both knees, you can pull both knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side. Okay. And then we're going to put the feet on the mat, take them wide. We're going to do another version of the bridge here. And this one is a wide-legged version, and it's really strengthening specifically for the gluteal muscles, which is important for back pain. So all you need to do to begin is press your feet into the floor and push your tailbone very, very slightly, like 1% of your max effort into the floor. So you feel a little arch in your back. So if you're just getting started and you have a significant amount of injury, this could be where you start. And you could stay here for a while, for a couple of weeks, strengthening yourself, pushing the feet into the floor, pushing the tailbone into the floor, very small arch in your back away from the floor. And you can feel the whole back side of your body contracting, those muscles coming on. We want to make it a gentle contraction. Nothing tweaking here. Those of us who are ready for more strength, we can push the feet into the floor and lift the hips. And lower down. And when you do the bridge with the legs far apart like this, it strengthens your butt. So adding the breath, inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Okay, good. Now, if you're feeling pretty strong today, sorry, let me back up. If you're feeling like this is a big workout for you, keep doing this. If you're feeling really strong today, you can hold here, hold your hips up in the air, and then do little pulses like this. Do 10 of them. Good. And slowly lower down. And then one knee in towards the chest. The other knee in towards the chest. And if you like it, both knees. Rock side to side. Good. Okay. We are ready to come to hands and knees. So roll over to your side without twisting. Stay here for a second, just for a breath. We've been on our backs for a while. I don't want anyone getting up and getting dizzy. So now we're going to come up gradually. Okay. Now this towel we've been using under the back can become a knee pad. And we're going to work a little bit with some core strength on the hands and knees. And then on the belly. So put your wrists right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. And if you have a disc injury, a bulging disc or herniated disc, take your knees wide. Okay? Take a breath here, and as you exhale, shift your hips back. We want to keep the back straight, remember, with those disc injuries. If you don't have that, you can curve your back when you do this, and it'll feel like a nice, beautiful stretch. So we're exhaling back, inhaling up, exhaling back, inhaling up. Good. And we're going to take the right hand and put it on top of the left hand. Exhale back. Inhale up. So this is stretching the right side of your body. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Wonderful. We'll put the right hand back where it was when we started and shift the hips back. Inhale up. Left hand goes on top of right hand. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Good. Neutral position, wrists underneath the shoulders. Exhale back. Inhale up. And now we're ready to do some bird dog movements. I want you to bring your knees underneath your hips again. So no wide-legged stance here. And take a breath, let your belly get big. And as you exhale, pull your belly up towards your spine. I want you to feel those abdominal muscles working. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull it up. As you can see, there's not a lot of movement visible here in this. We're just moving the belly. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull your belly up. Now, hold your belly up as you put your left leg out behind you. Toes point directly at the floor. Okay? That means the front of your femur is shining right at the mat and your hips are level. So it might feel even like you're rolling your thigh inward just a tiny bit. Okay, let's try that on the other side. Ready? Right leg goes out behind you. Toes pointing at the floor, hips are level. Okay. Inner thigh is turned on. Thigh might feel like it's rolling in a little bit. Belly is pulled in. Right? Good. So that's step one. Okay, that's option one. If you feel like it's a real challenge, then you're going to stay there because this is where you're building strength. Okay, building strength is where it's at. Now, we can also potentially add arms. So if you take your left leg out behind you, pull your belly in, press into your hands here. Don't let yourself sink into your shoulders like that, okay? You want to be really pushing away from the floor. And you can bring your right arm up. Thumb faces the ceiling. Pull your abdominal muscles in towards your spine. Keep your hips level. Keep your shoulders level. Reach long through your heel. Reach long through your fingertips. Reach long through the back of your head. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Bring your right hand down and bring your left knee down. Okay? That was a lot harder than just one leg. Let's try the other side. Right leg goes out behind you. Pull your belly button in. Left arm goes up. Thumb facing the ceiling, pointing right up at the ceiling. Reach long through your heel and your fingertips. Reach long through the back of your neck. Pull your ears down away from your, pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Excuse me. Okay, and put the hand down and the foot down. Roll the shoulders. Exhale back into child's pose. Remember, disc injuries, you take your knees wide first. You can even touch your forehead to the floor. All right, let's do that one more time. It's very strengthening for your core. Set yourself up, neutral spine, okay? That means more or less a flat back. Roll your shoulders down and back, press into the mat through your palms, lift your left leg, toes point at the floor, hips are level. Right arm goes up. If you're doing the arm, reach long. Shoulders out of ears. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, good. Other side. Ready? Right leg, left arm. Pull your belly button in, reach long, through the heel and the fingertips. Reach long through the back of your head and pull your belly in. Keep the hips level. Squeeze your butt and lower down. Good. Okay. Child's pose. So if you don't have the disc injuries and you're keeping your legs closer together, it looks kind of like this. Okay, and we're going to come up now and move into cobra. So we don't need the knee support anymore. We don't need any props for cobra. I want you to come down onto your elbows first and then down onto your belly. Before we even do cobra pose, we need to lengthen out the spine, and this is how we do it. Lift your right leg and reach long through the right leg and put it down. Lift your left leg, reach long through that left leg and put it down. Pull yourself through your elbows like this. Okay, get that low back really long. Okay, so you can place your hands on the floor at your sides like this, making a W shape with your arms if you have rotator cuff injuries. If you don't have any neck or shoulder injuries, you can bring your hands here by your rib cage, elbows pointing behind you, okay? Inhale, lift your head and pull your belly button up towards your spine. Squeeze your butt, press your pubic bone down into the floor. Exhale, lower your head. Inhale. Keep squeezing your butt, pressing your pubic bone into the floor, lifting your belly button, lift your head and your chest. Okay, and lower down. This is a baby cobra, and it's a really good place to build some strength when you have a hurt back. As I'm sure you can tell. We inhale up. You could even pull through your hands, lengthening out your spine even more. Make sure your elbows are pointing behind you. Your shoulder blades are slightly pulled together. Slightly. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And if you want, if you want to, you can add a hold. So inhale up and keep holding. But when you're holding, there's really an art and a magic to this. You gotta find just the right position where you're not aggravating. A lot of us have something on one side of the back and not the other. So we wanna make sure we're not pushing into that. And if you find that you're contracting too hard, you can always just back off a little. And lower down. Well done. So put your hands down at your sides, palms facing up, turn your head to the right. Relax completely. And we're going to do that on the other side. So we're just going to turn the head other way. Good. Okay. Come up onto your elbows like that. Good. Wonderful. So we've really done a lot of strengthening already. We're going to do one more child's pose. Take your knees wide if you have those back injuries. Stretch the back. So we just kind of go up and down, rocking in and out, because, you know, that cobra might have made your back really tight, and I don't want anyone to just yank on their muscles, right? That can be uncomfortable. So gradually you go a little deeper and deeper until you find that your back is willing to let you go into child's pose. You can Rest your head on top of your arms, or even on a block sometimes is necessary if you don't go down very far, if your hips are tight. You can do your child's pose like this. And then we're going to transition again onto the back. Good. So, oh yeah. I'm sorry, we're not going on the back. We're going to do legs up the wall. That's what I had planned. And I think it really is a good idea to do it. It feels nice on the back. So you'll need to orient your mat towards the wall like this. Unless you're on a carpet, then you don't need your mat. Blanket is optional here. A headrest might also be good. So the way you get into legs up the wall, you put your hip right against the wall. And then you just shift around onto your back. So I mentioned headrest. Some of us really do like to have our head up. I know I do. All right. And then here's another option for you. If you're perfectly happy where you are, stay where you are. If you want to try something new, put your feet against the wall, lift your hips a little, and put a blanket underneath. Set your hips on the blanket. Now, some people, when they put the blanket in, they immediately say, nope, I don't like it. And you have the option of doing that too. So if you don't like it, just take it out. You can rest your hands out to the sides, palms facing up, or you can put your hands palms down on your belly, whatever feels most comfortable. While we're here, I'll invite you to breathe. Breathe as though you're pulling life force energy in through the bottoms of your feet, up your legs and into your torso, into your pelvis, and exhale. All the stagnancy, the irritation, the heat from your nose. Pull your life force energy in through your feet. And exhale all of your waste, everything that's no longer serving you. You can imagine your exhale as a cloud coming out of you, and it can have a color, depending on what color symbolizes letting go for you. Wonderful. So if you have the blanket underneath your hips, this is the time to take it out. Put your feet against the floor, put your feet against the wall, lift your hips, take the blanket out, and put your legs back up again and rest with your hips flat on the floor. And you might notice at this point, whether you have the blanket or not, the back of your pelvis getting a little bit wider under the weight of your legs, getting a little softer. Good. And now we can bring the feet to the wall, roll over to your side without any twisting, and come up to a comfortable seated position. So Today, for me, that's going to be on a chair. Okay. Chair back. There we go. So when we come to the end of a yoga class and we come to a comfortable seated position, a chair is always an option for you. So is sitting on the floor with a blanket under your hips. And it might change from day to day what your preference is. So allow that. Place your hands together in front of your heart, and we will send a little love out into the world. May all people everywhere be happy, including me and including you. Namaste.